Hey everyone, so we are going to be talking today about managing Christmas. This is Jamie, who you've seen before, and he's agreed to jump on again to give you guys some information, some feedback, maybe a different slant on managing Christmas and events and potentially I might have. So welcome, Jamie. Thanks for jumping on again.
Thanks for having me.
So personally, like not your clients, what is your approach to the holiday season, December, parties, events? Like, how do you personally approach it?
So I'm a huge Christmas fan. Christmas is the best time of the year for me. I think going through the month, so the opening 2 weeks of December, I'm pretty much the same as I am normally. And then I kind of look at the Christmas week, so the week leading into Christmas. I'm not really one for Christmas parties or anything. But if there is one, then I'm not going to say no or anything. I'm not going to turn it down. I'm just going to go and enjoy it. But it's more like the lead up to Christmas, that one week before. And it's usually ties when I'm going to go do my Christmas shopping as well. So I used to have this same routine every year where I'd go into town, and I'd always go. The first thing I'd do is go and buy a hot dog from the same hot dog stall every year. And I'll be eating my hot dog and I'll look around and thinking, what the hell am I going to get everyone? And then that kind of sets the ball rolling. That's when Christmas starts for me, really.
Yeah.
Christmas dinner, I always have to make a Christmas dinner, like whether that's on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, because of various family commitments. And yeah, of course, the alcohol levels go up a little bit over Christmas. But then I usually kind of go for the day after Boxing Day, so the 27th, maybe the 28th is when I'm then reining everything back in again. I don't know about you, but I actually really don't like that week in between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, that funny week where no one knows what the time or the day is.
I don't know what day,
Yeah.
So I try and get back into some form of routine as quickly as I can after it. But yeah, that's my personal.
So do you have like New Year's Eve? Do you celebrate that, or is that just like a normal day for you?
We do and we don't. Like if we've got the kids, we'll make something nice for dinner, maybe something picky, and we'll kind of just play games and stuff. I always do see the new year in, but then I think we're in bed shortly afterwards.
Yeah. So do you have so from that day of going Christmas shopping all the way to like the 27th, 28th, are you just like free reign on everything? Or is it just like certain days, certain times where you're like, okay, I know this day I'm just going to do what I want, and then the rest of the time I'm going to stay on track?
A lot of it depends on actually when I decide that I'm going to finish work before Christmas. So like this year, I'm going to finish on Thursday, I think it's the 22nd. So I will probably be doing my normal stuff up until the 22nd. So I'll probably be still eating the same foods. Obviously, there'll be people probably bringing in mince pies and stuff.
I was going to say, yeah, the mince pies always come out.
And the chocolates. So yeah, my calorie intake will probably be a little bit higher, but then from the 22nd or 23rd, it's going to be a bit of a free for all, really. I don't hold back. Christmas is there to be enjoyed, right? So
yeah, 100%. And a few things I've said in the past to clients is like, have 5 days where you're like all in on everything. Like, you might go to the Christmas market, or Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Like, they're 5 days where you pretty much gonna be in whatever you want. And like I say, you might have a couple of days at like the Christmas markets or something, and it's just about picking and choosing rather than going, it's the 1st of December, let's crack on and eat everything. Because I think people go, I put weight on over Christmas. No, you put weight on over December, because it's so easy, like you say, that extra mince pie, that extra chocolate. You go into the Christmas markets a couple of times, and you're like, oh, that funny week between Christmas and New Year where everyone's having like mince pies for breakfast and all those things. And I think it's just about, for me personally, I kind of just pick a few days and I go, right, okay, what am I doing in December? Right, I'm going to the Christmas markets. Okay, I'll be mindful of choices. I'm not going to be crazy, but if I decide to be crazy and have loads of drinks and food. You know, it's not the end of the world. And again, like you know, I would never expect anyone to be counting calories like over Christmas unless that was their choice. You know, I remember buying 2 packs of mince pies, so like 12, and eating them over Christmas. I was like, right, this is my allowance. If you eat them in a day, it's tough. If you eat them over 2 weeks, that is fine, you know, and giving yourself like little things. So I think the more you do Christmas, the more you can make a change the next year. And I think that's the problem really with things that are just once a year. You forget what you did the year before, you forget what habits you put in place, you forget what you want to do, and then it's like out the window. And you can only practice it once a year as well. You can only go, oh right, okay, this Christmas I'm going to do this. Right, okay, that was good, but I still felt like I ate too much. Next Christmas I'm going to do this. And I think that's a problem with it just being a once a year thing. You forget like what you wanted to do over that time period.
Yeah, definitely.
So what do you kind of plan with your clients, and what struggles do clients have, or what strategies do you give to your clients to kind of manage December?
So I have quite a simple plan for my clients every year. So let's take this year, for example. I get my clients to take their measurements every 4 Sundays throughout the year. So with the way that it works, their final measurements for this year will be the 18th of December, which I've given them a heads up about. I said, we just got to focus till then. So 18th of December is the final measurements for this year. And then what I always do is I leave quite a nice gap. So the first measurements of next year will be towards the end of January. So I think that gives them somewhere around 6 or 7 weeks time off, so to speak. But my objective and the client's objective is, if December's here, January's here, and you're maintained that, it basically means anything that you've put on over the festive period has come back off again. And you're in a better position than you were this time last year. So, and then we just focus on which works. It keeps it simple. So obviously over Christmas they're going to carry on and do what they want to do. I wouldn't expect them to do anything different. And then I do try and get them in, and I go back to this, trying to re-establish a routine. I try and get them in between Christmas and New Year, even if it's just for one session and a catch up or something. It's just kind of, you know, keeping your eye in, so to speak.
And it's so easy to lose those habits and routines, and it over Christmas, of just like you say, you know, sitting on the sofa a bit more. You've got nowhere to go, nothing to do, your steps are really low, you're eating and drinking rubbish all day every day, you're not going to the gym. To try and then get that all going again in January, it's going to be really tough if you just completely take a full 2 weeks out.
Exactly. So get them sort of into in between Christmas and New Year, and then obviously come January, when everyone's kind of gone back to work and everything's settled down, it's full throttle again. So that's my plan. That's how I work it. It works quite well. And that's about it really. I think it's important to what's the word I'm looking for? So reinforce into the clients that Christmas, like you say, Christmas happens once a year. That's what it is. It's like a week, 2 weeks tops of parties, overindulgence, and you know, there's 50 other weeks in the year, so don't worry about it.
And I think there's no right or wrong answer to this. Obviously, we're just giving our opinions, our thoughts, and, you know, strategies, but there is no right or wrong answer. I mean, one thing I've done in the past with clients is to say, right, take a calendar of December and look at it and write down when you've got a Christmas party, when you've got the Christmas markets, out with friends, out for a few drinks, a catch up, family time, you know, all the Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, all that kind of stuff, what you've got going on, and then see what days are left. And then if you go, right, okay, well, there's 15 days left of December. I mean, that's quite a lot, you know, 2 weeks of partying, but if there's 15 days left in December, you can make progress. So if you stick to your steps, your workouts, your food on those 15 days, when you're enjoying the other 15 days, it's not going to be as detrimental on the scales when you step on, like on the 1st of January, that probably a lot of people do, you know. And like you're saying, I'm similar with my clients is, you know, take photos once a month. You know, we're not there every single week doing it because, you know, it's not needed. Scale weight, I say once a week. If they want to do more, that's fine. Some clients might want to step away from the scales over this time, because unless you really understand what scale weight is and what it means, it can kind of be a bit mentally detrimental to kind of go, oh, I've put on 4 pounds overnight and it wasn't, you just had a takeaway. And it might have only been like 300-400 calories over what you normally have. But because obviously the carbs, the salt and everything else, you know, you might have just looked like you've gained scale weight. So sometimes it's good, like you say, to step away from those measuring things if you know there's going to be a lot of stuff. And like you say, you know, you could take your measurement here in December and then here in January and it's the same, but like you said, you've probably gone up and gone down. So I think it depends on your approach of whether you want to see that up and that down, or whether just the same would upset you or make you happy. And, you know, obviously everyone's different with that.
Yeah, I think for me, like, maintenance is definitely a win from a PT perspective.
People don't feel that maintenance is a goal, and it is. Maintenance is 100% a goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a skill as well.
I think I did a post, I think it was last year or the year before, about the damage that you're not really going to do over Christmas. Like, we have this thing of amplifying it and thinking that we're going to be horrendous. And like you say, yeah, we might put on 5, 6, 7 pounds over Christmas, but what people don't realize is most of that's going to be like water retention.
Yeah.
You know, so it's going to be quite quick. And the same goes with like your summer holidays. People that come back and they've gained 5 pounds and they're depressed. Well, give it a couple of weeks and that will flush out. You'll be back to normal. But what I do is like a post where I actually break down your meals in December. So 31 days, taking the snacking out of it, you effectively have 93 meals in December. Now, if you count up what you've got planned, so you've got like, say, 1, maybe 2 Christmas parties, you've got Christmas dinner, Boxing Day, something maybe Christmas Eve, something maybe New Year's Eve. So really, you're kind of looking somewhere between 6 and 10 meals, which you're going to go over the top. But out of 93,
and people kind of build it up to a bigger thing, don't they? And like say they go, oh, put weight on over Christmas. It's like, no, it was that hot chocolate that you had at Costa that was probably 500 calories, and then you went and got another, like, you know, I love a good Christmas coffee, don't get me wrong, but those calories can add up so fast if you're forgetting. Someone brought in mince pies at work and you're having a couple, and a mince pie is about 250 calories. You know, and it's easily eaten without even noticing. Then the celebrations come out, and I know it's hard to kind of resist those things that are kind of temptations around you. But take a celebration, put it in your bag, take it home with you. You know, go, yeah, I'll have one, take it home with you. Because again, like 60, 70 calories, again, it might not seem a lot, but compounded over time, you then add in an extra 1/4 pound onto your scale weight every day by having a Christmas coffee and a celebration without really thinking about it. And again, I'm not saying don't have these things, just be aware that if you're going to have them, that is potentially what's going to happen.
Yeah, the other thing that I tell my clients, just like to assist them really more than anything, is most of my clients, most people will probably be off of work from just before Christmas through to New Year. Where, you know, not everyone, but quite a lot of people will be. So that's when the ideal opportunity, no better reason not to get out to go for a walk. There's nothing better than a Christmas walk either. Like, you know, and everyone's does it, you know, Boxing Day, there's usually something going on Boxing Day somewhere. So it's just a case of get out, have a walk.
And again, you know, get around the Christmas markets, look at the Christmas lights, you know, go out shopping. Like, I focus a lot on, you know, just drinking your 2 liters of water, focus on your sleep and getting your steps in. Like, they're the 3 key things really over Christmas and New Year. Drinking enough water is going to help you be hydrated, especially if you're drinking alcohol. Tracking your sleep and making sure you're getting good sleep rather than staying up silly times, you know, again, is going to make you feel good. Even if your food isn't on point all the time. And then getting your steps in, you know, again, it's going to make you feel good, get some fresh air, going to help towards that calorie burn, even though I'm not going, oh yeah, go out and get steps in to burn calories. I'm not about that, but it's keeping those habits and those routines, because if you did like 10,000 steps a day at work and then all of a sudden you're sitting on the sofa all day, you know, you're reducing how many calories your body is burning in a day. So then you're reducing it by 300-400 calories, adding an extra 600-700. Before you know it, you're over by 1,000 calories just by reducing your steps and increasing your food slightly. You know, and 1,000 calories every day, you know, you're going to be putting on 2 pounds a week, and nobody wants that.
No, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much my plan that I do every Christmas, and it works. So
Yeah,
it's good.
and that's it. Like there's no right or wrong answers here, and sometimes I'll give strategies to clients that I wouldn't normally. So like intermittent fasting, you know, if you know you're going out for a big meal in the evening, can you skip breakfast? Can you push the calories back so you just reducing a meal down? You know, can you skip a meal somewhere else? You know, being aware of the alcohol calories, and obviously what's in that. And again, it's not saying don't drink, it's just, you know, can you make a better choice? And I'm always about a better choice, you know, rather than getting that marshmallows, whipped cream and everything on the hot chocolate. Can you just get a hot chocolate without that? Still the same drink, you're just cutting a few calories out. And it's just being aware of what you're doing, rather than just, a lot of people just close their eyes from the 1st of December to the 1st of January, and then in January go, oh my God, what's happened? It's like you overate 1,000 calories like every day. So of course you put like 4 or 5 pounds on in the month of December. So last question, what's your kind of thoughts with getting back on it in January with clients? Like, do you just go all in? Have you got like a steady approach? Is there anything in particular that you say to clients from, but maybe not the first, people are probably hungover, but from like the 2nd of January to be like, right, okay, what's our plan of action now?
So I've now broken my year down into quarters. So obviously 1st of January will be the start of Q1. And then what I will do is a couple of days before, I will send out a Google form or something along those lines, where it'd be just, right, let's start thinking about your goals for Q1. I don't want to take up too much of their time. So it's only something that might take 5-10 minutes to fill out. And basically, my aim is to, by the time we get into that first session in the new year, I know what their goals are for that next 3-month period. And then we just kind of work towards that. So I don't ease them in, because at worst, they've had 2 weeks off. Yeah. So they're not going to have regressed at all. They're still going to probably be roughly at the same strength levels, etc. So we just kind of just go straight in. Now, obviously in January, most people are probably at their most motivated as well. Yeah. So as PTs, we can get away with just pushing them that little bit harder as well. Yeah. So with current clients, it remains business as normal. Set your goals, let's work towards them. We review over the previous period. So and it's just about keeping that focus rather than trying to grab hold of the focus again and getting them back on track. Yeah, like you say, it's just trying to keep them mindful throughout, like almost hold their hand through Christmas and New Year, and then all systems go again come sort of January 2nd or 3rd or whatever. So that's about it for my plan, really, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very similar. So in this group, we did goal setting in September, like 3 months goal setting. And then in January, the first one back will be, right, what were your goals? Did you achieve them? Did you not? Let's reset some new goals, maybe amend what we did last time. And then, like you say, you've got that fresh focus for the next 3 months. And like I say, probably people are a bit more motivated in January just because it's a new year, new me thing. Like it's more like a tradition, really, isn't it? That everyone just gets on a diet. And I think because other people are probably in the diet mindset, it helps you to be in that diet mindset as well. Whereas in December, everyone's like, everything's out the window, we don't care. And that's when it's hard for you to stay on your diet, which is why it's good to have a plan throughout December of what you're doing on what days. Whereas when, it gets to January, no one's trying to tempt you with the chocolates. They're probably going, do you want to come out for a walk? Are you going to the gym? You know, it's completely shift mindset, and, you know, trying going from all-inclusive buffets every day in December to restriction in January, you know, is not the best thing to do. So I'd always say to clients, you know, with diet and exercise, if you've been off for a significant period of time, everything's just accidentally gone out the window, just kind of ease yourself back into it, you know, just get back into the routines, pick a couple of things up, get better at those, pick a couple more up, and then before you know it, the end of January, everything's rolling, you're smashing it, you've lost all your Christmas weight, like you say, you know, and it's like February already.
Yeah, it's a tricky time of the year, but it's also a really fun time of the year as well, I find overall.
And that's it, like, enjoy it, you know, don't restrict yourself to the point where you're like, oh, Christmas was awful because I couldn't eat that mince pie. It's like, just eat the mince pie, you know. And without any client taking a choice, I'll always say, you know, is it going to take you one step closer to your goals or one step further away? And if that mince pie is going to take you a step further away, are you happy to add an extra day onto your weight loss goal? Because that's all you're doing, really. You're just adding an extra day on. So if you do 2 weeks of like overindulging at Christmas, you might need to add a month onto where you thought you would get to with your dieting phase of like, oh, I'll be done in March. Well, that's going to take till April now. Are you happy with that? And if the answer is yes, I'm happy with that, then great, go all in and, you know, and do what you want. Because that's the only consequence, really. You've then got a diet for longer at the end.
Yeah. So like I say, like, even if you took the whole month, if you took the whole of December just to make it into a free for all, 1 month is only actually 7% of the year. If my maths is correct there, I think it was about 7% of the year. You've still got 93% of the year to be on top of things. So like I say, it's Christmas is there to be enjoyed. And then come December, it's blinkers back on and focus towards those goals again. So
just remind everyone where they can find you on Instagram and Facebook if they want to ask you any questions or follow what you're doing.
So on Instagram, I am Jamie Knight _PT. And on Facebook, you can find me at JLK Fitness. And that's it from me, I think.
Yeah, thanks very much. So if anyone has got any question, guys, please comment under this video. And thanks very much for jumping on.
No problem. Thank you very much.